through the noise and help you make smart choices. So hit that like and subscribe button because if you want to glow up, you're in the right place. Alright, I'm going to start out with the luxury anti-aging creams. I have so many people slide into my DMs to ask me about these, and I have so many patients bring them with them to their appointments and ask, hey, are these products actually worth it? Are they doing anything productive for my skin? Should I keep using them? First up is the Augustina Spotter The Rich Cream. This retails for about $300 for 50 ml. This cream is really popular. You see a lot of celebrities talking about it and endorsing it. It's often marketed as a science-backed miracle cream, and it's well known for the little piece of technology that it has in it, which is called their trigger factor complex, which helps with skin renewal and is unique to the Augustina B brand. The main idea with this TFC8 complex is it essentially helps guide the skin in its renewal processes. And I think one of the reasons this cream retails for so much is because it has this proprietary technology. Aside from that, it does have a nice blend of primrose oil and squalane and hyaluronic acid and rice protein for calming. So, all really nice ingredients, but not particularly special. I also think people really love this, and it has a cult following because it has a bit of a unique texture. This particular cream is what we call a reverse emulsion, where you have drops of water suspended in oil. And when you do that, it gives a very luxurious texture that a lot of brands don't offer, particularly for mature skin that tends to be a bit more dry. These sort of oil-dominant formulations can just feel extra moisturizing for them. It is a really beautiful, effective moisturizer, but for me personally, having that extra TFC8 complex in there really isn't enough for me to want to spend $300 on it. If I compare it to something like the Beauty Extreme Cream, which also has that lovely reverse emulsion technology, yeah, it doesn't have like the secret sauce of Augustina B, but if you're using Augustina's B for that textural element as your main driver of wanting to use it, you do have other products that offer that. And also, I want to be really clear here. If you're using any of the products I talk about and I say it's not worth it for me, that doesn't mean they're bad products. I just think if you are trying to stretch your budget or you have to be financially conscious for certain reasons, this might not be the place that I choose to spend the most in my anti-aging skin journey. I will say I have received this product as a gift from the brand a couple of times. And do I use it up every single time? I sure do. Another luxury cream that I could not do this video without talking about is the Crème de la Mer from La Mer. This retails for about $200 for 1 ounce. And it's really famous for this miracle broth ingredient, which is derived from fermented sea kelp and is meant to have a lot of vitamins and nutrients that are nourishing for the skin. It's considered to be an ultra-luxe, very rich cream. I remember the first time I ever saw La Mer. I was at a family friend's house and she's an actress, and I was probably like 8 years old, and I went in her refrigerator and she had a jar of La Mer sitting in there, and even I knew at that age like, oh, this is fancy. Now, you definitely don't have to store this in the fridge, but that was part of her method. I have used this cream several times throughout the years. I've never purchased it myself, but I've been gifted it, and I've also worked with makeup artists who use it as part of their skin prep for makeup. Now, while it is a great moisturizer, especially if you like the feel of a richer, more enveloping cream, when I look at the ingredient list, aside from having this miracle broth, it's pretty similar to what you would see in a drugstore moisturizer. There's a lot of oils, including mineral oil. There's a lot of waxes, which are not bad ingredients by any means. They are part of a lot of richer moisturizers, but those ingredients don't really set it apart or feel special enough to warrant that steep price tag. I will say I have a patient who has the most incredible skin. She's in her 60s and she doesn't have a line or a wrinkle, and she doesn't really do cosmetic procedures, but she swears by La Mer. She says she's been using it since she was in her 20s, which, wow, that's a lot of La Mer, but her skin does look fantastic. And I know she's trying to give the credit to La Mer, but genetics. Now, the last luxury anti-aging cream I'm going to talk about is from SkinCeuticals. And although SkinCeuticals has a luxury price point, I don't know if they would necessarily consider themselves luxury as much as like a medical-grade skincare brand, because they're sold in a lot of dermatology offices and esthetician offices, and that's really more their brand DNA. I even carry SkinCeuticals in my office. And the product I'm talking about specifically from them is their Interrupter Advanced Cream, which retails for about $185 for 7 ounces. This product's really popular because it has a unique focus point in terms of how it addresses aging in the skin. Even within the product name, it says A, which stands for advanced glycation end products, which is essentially a negative process in the skin where excess circulating sugars bind to things like your collagen and cause it to be less plump, less pliable, less effective. And so the goal or the promise of this A interrupter cream is that it goes into the skin and stops that negative process from happening. And SkinCeuticals did do some clinical testing of this product. And sometimes that is why products might be more expensive because they have that clinical test to support some of the claims that they make. And the testing did show that when using this cream for 12 weeks, lines were reduced in the face. But when I looked closer at the data, the lines were reduced like 5–10%. So maybe enough to be significant in a study, but maybe not enough to be like clinically significant. But nonetheless, it did reduce wrinkles all over the face. I will tell you just from personal experience, I have used this product and I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't really like the texture of it. I didn't love the smell of it. So, it's not my personal favorite. But if you're interested in using a science-backed product to help with things like fine lines and wrinkles, it may be worth a try. I actually prefer the SkinCeuticals Triple Lipid Moisturizer. It doesn't have that same A targeting process, but I think in terms of how my skin feels, just like the experience of using the triple lipid, it's just so much better. And that product also has a huge cult following for that reason. And also because it works really well for mature skin. Alright, that's enough of the expensive stuff. Now, let's talk about some more affordable anti-aging creams that are also super popular. I'm going to start out with the Olay Regenerous Micro-Sculpting Cream. It's also known as the moisturizer in the red jar. And I'm pretty sure Olay has said that they have sold over 1 billion jars of this product since it first launched. It retails for about $36 for one. 70. And it's really touted as just a great everyday moisturizer. You can use it in the morning, you can use it in the evening, you could use it at both. It doesn't have any unique peptides or retinol or anything that makes it specifically anti-aging. Though it does have niacinamide, which can help with brightening of the skin and can help with barrier strength. And the reality is it can be anti-aging in terms of appearance if your skin just looks really well moisturized. And I know for people as they get older, they don't hold on to as much oil in their skin. They really struggle with their skin looking as plump and firm and youthful. And having a great, just really solid moisturizer in your routine can help. This cream has also been shown to offer 24 hours of hydration. So again, for those drier skinned people out there, $36 not bad. Do any of you use this product? Are you one of the billion jars that's been sold? Another product that I could not do this video without mentioning is the Neutrogena Rapid Repair Wrinkle Cream. To me, this is just so classic. I saw my mom use this years and years and years ago. It comes in the gray jar with the white lid. It retails for about $40 for one. 7 ounces. And as the name suggests, it is a retinol cream, and it is focusing on improving wrinkles. When I think of some of the OG retinol products that I saw in the drugstore growing up and continue to see when I go to the drugstore now, this is definitely one of them. And I think one of the things that's really helped it stand the test of time is that it actually works. When it comes to retinol, all products are definitely not created equal. And one of the reasons for this is retinol is a very unstable molecule. And when it's stabilized and it works in your skin, it helps with fine lines, wrinkles, discoloration, plumpness, dullness. It does so many great things. But there are a lot of products out there, and sometimes especially at the drugstore, that contain retinol that's not well stabilized. And so it's essentially ineffective. And then when you take a very stable and effective retinoid and you put it in a really great moisturizing base, it's going to have good anti-aging effects because you're going to see that improvement in fine lines and wrinkles, but you're also going to have just super hydrated, moisturized skin. And the other thing that I like about this cream is it's not particularly irritating. A lot of retinol products can irritate the skin. And that's not to say that some people won't have irritation with this one. I would still recommend when you start any retinol product that you use it just a couple nights a week and slowly work it into your routine. But because it's in the moisturizer, because of the type of retinol and the concentration of retinol that's used, it just offers this very gentle nudging of the skin to be better without overwhelming it. So, especially if someone is on a budget, new to using a topical retinoid, but wants to be doing a little bit more for their skin than just the basics of cleansing, moisturizing, and protecting from the sun, this one has my stamp of approval. I do want to mention one other retinol cream in this video. It's from a brand called Lilana, or maybe it's Lilana, and their retinol cream has such a following. I have never seen so many positive reviews for a cream. It retails for $30 for one. 70. And it's really well known for being a gentle plant oil-rich retinol cream. It also sort of markets itself as being very clean and not having a lot of chemicals in it. And you guys know how I feel about that. But if you are on maybe the crunchier side, or maybe you have sensitivities to certain things, this is probably worth checking out. And I definitely don't mean crunchy in a derogatory way. I mean, I live in Berkeley. I'm a little crunchy, too. Now, they don't disclose the concentration of retinol within this product, and that's okay. A lot of brands don't disclose that for a variety of reasons, but I would suspect that it's quite low just because of how gentle this product is. Usually with more potent retinoids, people have a lot more complaints around irritation. And although that might yield better results for some people, if you can't even tolerate the product, then you know those benefits aren't really going to be worth it. So I would say if you want a gentle retinol, if you want something that's sort of in that natural skincare space, it may be worth a try. It's so much cheaper than so many other retinol products. And lastly, let's talk about the L'Oreal Age Perfect Cell Renewal Midnight Cream. This costs about $37 for one. 7 ounces, and it's talked about a lot as sort of a dupe for richer luxury creams. I've tried it before. It's definitely hydrating. They say that it's skin firming, and to be honest, I didn't use it for long enough to really notice any of those benefits. And they talk a lot about how it helps your skin renew and repair overnight. So, it's very good for your skin barrier. You know, I think the name sort of suggests it when they call themselves a midnight cream. This is meant to be used as a nighttime cream to help with that skin cell renewal, which is a process that is generally amped up overnight. It also touts that it has this wrapping technology. And I will say the skin does feel quite cushioned when you use it, but it is also sort of lightweight and absorbs really well. So, texturally, I really enjoy this cream. It does have fragrance, so just something to note if you're sensitive to it. But I also feel like that fragrance gives it somewhat of that luxurious quality. I think if you want to try something that's going to really feel and sort of act like a luxurious moisturizer, but without the price point, this is definitely something worth trying. What I have found as a dermatologist is just everyone has different particularities when it comes to their moisturizers. Like I might feel like something feels lightweight, but it might feel heavy on someone else. So when it comes to moisturizer, you kind of have to do a little bit of trial and error to figure out what kind of moisturizer really speaks to your skin and gives you the experience and the results that you want. Have you guys tried any of these anti-aging creams? Or do you have other anti-aging creams that are popular that you want me to go over? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch you next time.